So Scorpio, let's take a look and see what's going on for you. The beginning of the month, you have some swords energy in reverse. This card here is Seven of Swords. And Seven of Swords is a guy who is always like feeling like he has to do things by himself, feeling like he has to get away with things in order to get ahead. It's really lone wolf energy. It can sometimes also be criminal, like I'm stealing these things because I need to make sure that I am in a good position, at any cost. And it's also really risky behavior. So it's I sometimes call this card putting your head in the tiger's mouth. It's like you're going to put everything at risk just to accomplish something or just to get yourself ahead. And it's kind of like jumping out of the frying pan and into the fire. So the fact that it's in reverse is showing that it's not as full force. Like you're not quite as cavalier or risk oriented as this card can be, but that energy is still there. So be careful with taking too many risks or acting in a really irresponsible, reckless. Be careful not to be reckless at the beginning of the month. That's what this card, Seven of Swords, is saying. And Six of Swords. Six of Swords has to do with recovery, journeying to a new land. Usually I point out that this is someone being shuttled from stormy seas to calmer seas. And you could relate to either the figure who's doing the rescuing or the figure who has been through struggle and strife, and this person is helping to take them from stormy seas to calmer seas. You may relate to either one or both. Sometimes in terms of recovery, this can be healing from something where it was difficult and you were the wounded victim or the wounded patient in the situation, and then you can carry yourself through it to healthier times or going to a different place. So one of the things too, because this is in reverse, what's saying is that there's an opportunity for you to go from choppy waters and troublesome times to calmer seas, but you are preventing that from happening. Like there may be a way in which you don't actually think that's possible, or you don't see how you can get from point A to point B, how you can get from where you are in troubles and toil to, a calmer, newer horizon. And it could be, just because this can sometimes mean recovery, this is risky behavior, I'm going to say that you may be preventing your recovery from a situation or your ability to get out of a difficult situation by engaging in risky behavior, by doing things underhandedly, by trying to do things underneath the surface or trying to get away with things. And so you're keeping yourself in a difficult position, keeping yourself stuck, because another meaning of this card is traveling to a different land or going on a journey. So the opposite of that would be staying stuck and staying stagnant, not allowing yourself to heal or recover or go to a different place because of this risky behavior. So don't be reckless because in the beginning of the month, especially because it may be holding you back significantly. It may be preventing you from healing or recovering or going to a new land, or place, figuratively or literally. Nine of Wands tells me that you're a survivor. You're going to survive through this regardless. Nine of Wands, I call my Cool Hand Luke card because it's like Cool Hand Luke when he keeps getting knocked down and gets back up. Nine of Wands has a lot of the energy of, there's a Buddhist saying that says, fall down 7 times, stand up 8. And what it means is that regardless of how many struggles you go through, this guy keeps fighting through it and keeps getting back up. So you may be tangling with something that is challenging you, and you feel like you have to be a survivor in it, and you feel like maybe the only way that you can get through it is to do something underhanded or get away with something or advance yourself in a way that's not totally on the level. But that's going to keep you stuck. That's going to keep you from recovering from the situation. it's just going to keep enacting the same karma, or actually the same actions will keep producing the same results. So just be aware of that at the beginning of the month, Scorpio. If there's any way, Scorpios can sometimes be under the surface and off the radar. You like to swim in seas that aren't exactly on the top of the surface of the water, but if you're doing anything that is like dishonorable or dishonest or risky, be careful, it might bite you. It might keep you stuck. This is like helping yourself or helping someone else go from challenging times to better times. So in reverse, it's not allowing you to experience that because of this risky behavior or this dishonest, dishonorable, under the radar kind of action. And it's making you feel like, I just have to always be a survivor. I always have to, this guy can be sometimes paranoid or wary or always looking over his shoulder. So that's who you end up becoming if you have any of this feeling or any of these traits going on. It can also mean that you're having feelings of needing to do everything by yourself, needing to like be the lone wolf, needing to always try to get ahead, and always feeling like you need to be a survivor. And that possibly could also be keeping you kind of stuck in the same, not able to help yourself, not able to ferry yourself out of these difficult waters to better shores. So it might be the way that you're identifying with either of these cards. That could be it too. Also, it's a tough environment. Three of Cups is normally, it's in the upright position. It is surrounding yourself with like-minded people, with family, with friends, with people who share the same joys, who share the same loves of the heart. If you enjoy music or pleasure or dance or, just this is often looked at as a card of celebration and coming together. When it's in its reverse position, usually what that means is idle gossip or criticism from social circles or disdain, or, people, you might have a lot of people around you who are judging you. It could be that you are in a situation where you're trying to recover from something, and yet you kind of go back to old habits of maybe doing things in a way that benefits you, but that doesn't sustain you. And there's a lot of people, and you feel like you always have to be a survivor through things. I keep getting knocked down, but I keep getting back up. But I'm kind of paranoid about the world and maybe cynical about it. And these people aren't necessarily helping with the situation. They might just kind of be saying things about you that aren't really supportive. So I look at this as like the peanut gallery, or like, when you're in a position of being evaluated or judged or criticized, don't let all this public opinion sway you. Don't worry about these guys. When Three of Cups is in reverse, this could be people at your office. This could be your social circle. This could be, some group that you're involved with. This could be your family or your extended family. This could be friends. Don't let Three of Cups in reverse get you down, because they're just, kind of idly judging and criticizing, and usually they don't have all the information. So see if you can just remain a survivor through all of this. But you do have the opportunity and you are a survivor. You do fight that fight, and you do keep getting back up. So good for you to keep going with that, Scorpio. But you might be able to help yourself out by not participating in risky behavior, not participating in trying to get ahead at any cost, not participating in what do I need to do to further myself without regard for the consequences of that, because that will keep you stuck. That will keep you from being able to recover or go to a new place. So that's the beginning of August for you, Scorpio. Try not to be reckless, but you're going to survive through it regardless. The middle of the month for you, you've got Knight of Coins. You have Eight of Wands in reverse. And then you have Ace of Swords And then you have Two of Coins. So let's see what's going on there. Something that jumps right out at me immediately is that this Ace of Swords, this card is clarity, it's vision, it is truth, it is victory, it's success. And because the swords represent the mental element, what it is when you have absolute clarity and you see things clearly and you see the truth, and the truth sets you free. Essentially, the truth kind of triumphs over all. That's why it's wearing this crown, is because nothing else can tarnish it. Nothing. It's just clear, correct, truthful. It's the truth. It's clarity of vision. It's seeing things as they actually are. So there may be a way in which you have deceived yourself in the past by thinking like, I have to do this in order to survive. But you may have some insight or some flashes of clarity in the middle of the month that kind of sets you free from that. It's interesting too, because this lines up from this particular row or column tells a story of, I have always felt like I need to be a survivor. I'm just surviving the situation. I'm just barely surviving. I'm just doing what it takes to survive. That can be, I have to defend myself at all times. That's the energy of this card. Then there's this moment of insight, clarity that you get, seeing things as they really are. And then you become the visionary, dreaming for what you want, trying to plan your empire. So this card, this Three of Wands, is very different from Nine of Wands. It's not just a survivor. It's saying, what do I want? What do I want to create? What do I envision? What can I plan? So there's something interesting going on there. And then also, this card is success and victory. Six of Wands is a card of triumph. We see the traditional crown of laurels here, and people are greeting him as he's coming in on his white horse. It has a lot of hero energy, so it's triumph, victory, success. But because it's in the reverse position, that's being blocked. It's the low side of the card. And the low side of the card is getting too high on your horse, or being smug about something, or feeling like you're superior to others. So because it's in reverse, you might have some experience where you fall off your horse. Or like if you were in a high station or high rank or authority, or in some ways you were up on a horse in success and victory and triumph, you might get knocked down off of that. And it might have to do with this Knight of Coins. But it might also give you some insight that by being truthful and really seeing the situation as it is, that actually, this situation of you falling off of your horse or being kind of made to realize that you can't just feel superior to others, or that, sometimes you fail at things and you just have to, this card says that too, sometimes you fall down and you just have to get right back up, be a survivor. Sometimes I think there's something in this card being in reverse that's going to give you this insight, going to give you this clarity, this truth. And when you're falling off that horse, it's going to lead you to stumbling across a new truth. Like, maybe it's okay. Maybe I'm just human. Maybe even though I used to do this, I see things as they are now. I see that by, if I take certain actions or keep repeating them, here's the truth of the matter. Here's what's going to keep happening. You get some insight or some clarity or some vision into the situation. The reason I'm seeing that the Knight of Coins might knock the Six of Wands off of its horse is because this guy, he looks like a jouster. He's a knight. He's got his jousting rod. He's got his sword. His shield. And the knights in the tarot are equivalent to the jacks in regular playing cards. So jacks are always clever, playful, romantic. They're kind of tricksters. And this guy might be able to see through this guy. Might be able to unleash him from his horse, from his position. Now, Knight of Coins is all about it's an earth sign card, so it could be Taurus, it could be Capricorn, it could be Virgo, someone who's very grounded, and he is the most stable of all the jacks. So he, like in the Rider Waite, his horse is just steady, and it's not moving too fast or too slow. It's like he takes time to consider things, and he thinks things over. So he may present this, this guy who's coming in here and saying, I have authority, I have triumph, I'm high on my horse. He may unleash him by some sort of just like pointing out a truth, pointing out something that is pretty practical, because earth signs are known to be pretty practical. So he might have some words of, I don't want to say clarity, but he might just have some, like, call it like it is. A spade's a spade. A jack is a jack. A diamond is a diamond. A heart is a heart. It is what it is what Knight of Coins says. So he might be saying, if you repeat same actions, you're going to get same results. He's really practical. He's really down to earth. So I think with this Knight of Coins, also interestingly enough, Knight of Coins is the card for the United States. It's the salesman card, and it's a card that drives a hard bargain. He's also a card of like the bottom line. So when Knight of Coins shows up, it might be that you're like reviewing things like my budget. Like, I just can't live outside of my means anymore. I can't pretend to be this high stepping guy riding in on the white horse. Maybe I have to acknowledge that I'm just a human being, and it's sort of like saying, stop pretending. In this position, as I'm saying it, he's knocking this guy off of his horse. So, also because these two cards are in alignment, and this card is like drives a hard bargain, and bottom line, this card can be like risk-taking, criminal behavior, or underhandedness, and this card is focusing all on oneself. So there's a lot of energy here of like, what is most important to me, or what's going to serve me the most. And that's a big focus for all three of these cards. What's going to serve me the most? What's the bottom line? And so you may be evaluating your values. That's what Knight of Coin does, is he evaluates value of things. It also echoes this card. Two of Coins is about choosing between valuable things. So do I want option A or do I want option B? Do I want to go left? Do I want to go right? It can be joint finances. It can be a collaborative effort that produces tangible results. In this card, in the Rider Waite, he's standing on one leg. And so it's like a juggling card. It's about being flexible and adaptable and choosing between options. But it's definitely a card, because it's a coins card, it's definitely about physical results. It's about monetary value. It's about possessions, possibly. And it also has to do with values. Coins have to do with, what do I value? You may be, because you're going from the Knight of Pence and then going to Two of Pence, you might be testing things out and evaluating what it is that you value. And you might have some insight into thinking, I used to think that this meant success. I used to think, whatever, having a flashy car or whatever it is that you might have used to have thought of as success, you may see it differently now and have this truth or this insight that changes the way you look at values. So there's some really interesting things going on there in the middle of the month for you, Scorpio. I see a big change with this guy falling off his horse. What maybe he used to think was succeeding or getting away with things or fooling people, he's been knocked off of that. And it actually puts him in a better place. It puts him in a place of like, oh, okay, now I'm going to correspond with the truth. now the truth is going to be my friend, you know, and it gives you a lot more strength and power. Towards the end of the month, there's more things going on. Like I said, this card, Four of Cups, is a card about, this card is has a figure where the figure is really kind of hiding away under this brush. He's camouflaged, and there's 3 cups in the foreground here that he's focused upon. He's just focused upon what he has. So he's totally missing out and not seeing this 4th cup that's being handed to him. And it's adding more to what he could have, but because he's so focused on just what is and how things have been, he's so just kind of non-open to the rest of the world. He's missing out on this opportunity that's being handed to him, this thing that his heart would potentially love. So keep your heart open. Keep yourself open to other possibilities. Don't be so... This guy can be very pessimistic. This guy can be very pessimistic, very serious and staid and, excuse me, not open. Neither of these are open characters. So this is reminding you to stay open. Then we have Knight of Swords, who delves into battle very quickly. He jumps at any chance to go forth into battle. There's a burning tower over here, and he's going to go like rescue the day. He rushes into things, though. I mean, what's good about this card, the high side of this card, is that it is courageousness. It is willing to defend and charge forth and enter into battle. It's a real card of like maybe defending the truth. You see the sword here. Sword represents the mental element, and in this case, truth. So he's willing to like go to battle for truth. But the low side of the Knight of Swords is that sometimes he rushes into things. In the Rider Waite, he's on a horse that is rearing up on 2 legs. So he'll actually go against the wind, and even the horse is looking at him and saying, hey, should we go this fast? Do you need to really charge forth this quickly? This card is saying, this is a visionary card, and this card is saying, take time to think about and dream and plan and envision what you want. Sometimes charging forth without a plan or without a strategy, just like will for the sake of will, isn't your best option. Taking time to think about things, plan things, dream about what you want. This is dreaming of a new empire, dreaming of things to be as you want them to be, or dreaming of a life that you want. You may not believe it to be possible. You know, you may not believe you can ever leave where you are and go somewhere new, but this card's saying, take time to dream about it. This insight, this Ace of Swords is in the middle of the month. Whatever sort of revelations or clarity you get, that's going to help you do this. That's going to help you transition from just feeling like a survivor to feeling like a creator. 3 energy is very creative, and this is someone who creates what he wants. He envisions it and then goes about planning it. It's sort of like looking at the empty field and saying, what do I want to build there? What do I want to plan? What do I want to create?